All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. And today we're going to be going over how to market listings so that you are the known person in your area that both sellers and buyers want to work with when they're thinking about buying or selling a home. We're going to be taking a look at the listing showcase model. In part, Fabrice used that to get 11. Oh, here we go again. 11 listings in 2 weeks, and he's gotten a number of listings since then. Let me go ahead and open that up in a new tab. There we go. And so I'm going to put this link into the chat. I've already put in a few links. I put in a link to the listingstoleads.com. So you can either log in and do this with me or sign up for a free trial. And then also to our school community, which I'll show you in a second. But I'll drop this also into the Facebook mastermind group a little bit later. But I put it in there a few times. When you fill this out, you're going to get both the link to the 30-minute interview that I did with him where he talks through it. But then I also did a PDF that is phenomenal because the PDF will actually give you more of a step-by-step walkthrough on it. So I put it in a little bit of better order. I put some notes with this, so it's a little bit more self-explanatory so that you can actually take the interview. I would actually watch the whole thing. It's only 30 minutes long. And then for the PDF after the interview, look at the PDF, and I think it'll make a lot more sense to you. All right. So let me know if you got that and if you're good to go with that. I also want to take a look at a couple of posts in the mastermind group from this weekend. So one of our clients, she got in here and she posted that she was feeling overwhelmed. She had 2 open houses, not much traffic, right? Did some ads, which I made a comment on her ads. Post all over social media. It's a great listing, but the open houses are bombing. Yeah, I looked up the listing, and we're going to be talking about that. All right. The listings that you market, whether they're yours or listings that you borrow from your office, from other agents in your MLS. And again, this goes with the Fabrice strategy that we're going to walk through. They got to be strategic. All right. The listing that she was doing was for a condo building in a building that, when I looked it up, sales are anywhere from 90 to 120 days. Some of the more aggressively priced units are selling a little bit faster. And so, that's something you got to look at when you're marketing a listing. Now, when we've got our own listing, we got to do it. But at the same time, when we take a look at what Fabrice was doing, where he's marketing 3 listings a week via social media and this database, it really pays dividends. And I'm going to walk through that in a little bit more detail here in a second. But I wanted to show you. So, and you'll get into the mastermind group. You may have seen it, you may not have, but Shannon Hart here gives some great ideas of what to do. And we talk about this in our school classroom and our open house training. I'll mention this probably today a little bit about, leaving PDF flyers around the open house and other things that you can do to engage people at the open house. Kenny got in here, all right, and talking about using the nearby homeowner letter, which we'll be talking about today, and how that helps. Angie Diaz, a longtime client, made a good comment. Dawn Garcia talking about 4 leads for a down payment assistance ad and got a listing in a lower price point, which is phenomenal. All right. This was the ad that was ran. And I'm going to talk today. I don't like videos in an ad. A video for a social media post is phenomenal. All right. That's great. But when we're trying to generate leads, we don't want to use videos because people just watch the video. And why do they need to click for more information? So the only people that click off a video are the super, super interested ones, which are great. But I also want to get just the people that are curious right when they see just the image of the home, which I'll be showing you. So if you just use our default template, it's a lot better. All right. It's a lot better. Kendra got in here and left a great comment as well, talking about the fact that, doing an open house the first weekend using the open house marketing, also using the nearby homeowner letter as well. So, second comment about inviting neighbors, not just an open house, even when you got a just listed, a pending, a sold, these are all great times to use the nearby homeowner letter because they really, really engage people. For the open house, they're phenomenal because for the open house, they are an invite to the neighbors. But the problem is, if it's a condo building, you can't leave, and you can't door knock condos in a building typically. All right, there's a lot of rules against that. They don't want real estate agents running around the building knocking on doors. So when you got the opportunity and you can do an open house for a single family home that's in a neighborhood that I'll talk about here in a little bit. Some neighborhoods are better than others, and it's not based on price point, but it's just based on the neighborhood characteristics, which I'll mention. It's a great way to get more listings, get more buyers at it. And then Ben here, Ben here talked about consistency. All right. And I'm going to be talking about that in great detail as well. And another post I did, and this is running off of the landing page I just gave you with the interview and the PDF that you'll see, which is the weekly listings showcase strategy. So this is exactly what Fabrice was doing. All right. He's marketing 3 listings a week, all right, to his database, to social media. We'll be walking through that today, so you'll get exactly what he was doing. And the why, though, why would that, why would you do that? Well, when you think about it, pretty much every kind of business that has a product, and real estate agents, what is your product? The product is homes for both buyers and for sellers. Sellers want to see homes that you are getting into contract, homes that you're getting sold. Buyers, they just want to see homes that are for sale. And so when we do it the right way, all right, not the way we want to do it, not the way we think we should do it, but when we do it the right way, it can pay massive dividends for you. And so, like I said before, not all listings are going to be equal. So when we think about it, most agents, they're randomly marketing per Ben's comment. They're not being strategic about the listings that they're marketing, especially when it's an open house. But when you think about it, like I said, listings are inventory. And so a baker, what do? They put the beautiful baked goods in the showcase. A jeweler is going to put the beautiful jewelry pieces, necklaces, bracelets, things like that in a window showcase. A car dealership, what do? They put amazing looking cars, all right, and maybe their best deals right in the front of the lot. So as a real estate agent, what do we want to be doing? It's showing listings, whether they're ours or not, because nobody in your database, nobody on social media really knows what is a showing agent, what is, like the idea of a borrowed listing. When they see you marketing a listing via email, via text, via social media post, via an ad, all right, and other things that you can be doing like an open house, they're not thinking about listing agents. All right, they're thinking about the fact that you are the one that is showing them the property. So that goes a long, long way. And so I want you to be thinking about this today as we go through this, all right? And you take a look at the Fabrice interview, the Fabrice PDF that we did together, where I laid it out in a little bit more of a step-by-step deal for you so that you can actually follow along and implement it along with our live training. You can actually do this yourself. It's not that hard, all right? Again, it's not that hard. We want to be known by people in our database, people that are on social media, right? People in the farm, when we can do it, as an agent with a lot of inventory. And we don't have to even have the inventory to do this. And that's what's the amazing thing about it. But that's the thing that so few people even understand. So give me a quick yes if that makes sense while I have a quick sip of my coffee. I'm in Northern California and it is cold. I don't know about it where it is in your area. Hopefully it's a little bit warmer for you. But I'm telling you, man, where I am at, this feels like March weather, and we're almost at June 1st. Normally it's about 95 degrees. Today it's like 72. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly. So let me get a comment if we're good or not. I'm at listingsleads.com. When I log in, one more thing before we get started, the Case-Shiller just dropped this afternoon, or I should say this morning, and we got an email and a text message for seller leads and for buyer leads. You can send them through Listings to Leads. You can send them through your database. All you got to do is you log in. There's the pop-up right here, and click on this link right here where it says get the Case-Shiller emails and text messages for your seller and buyer leads here. And when you do that, you're going to land. Now, when you land on your page, it's going to look a little bit different. Let me bring this up right here. What you're going to see is 4 text messages, or 4, I should say, 4, it's 2 emails and 2 text messages. So when you mouse over these, when they're in your account, and they're in my account, but they're a little bit lower in my actual account for you. They're going to be right at the top. Home prices are shifting. That's for seller. Text message version for the sellers. Home prices have cooled. That's for the buyers. And that's related to the fact that the Case-Shiller, the home prices, the growth of home prices has declined to 0.7 versus the month prior. So they're going up a little bit, not a lot. So it's good news for the sellers because they're not dropping, but it's also good news for the buyers because they're not rising too high. And so we'll get emails and text messages for both your seller leads and your buyer leads. You can send them through your account. You can send them, through Listings to Leads, through your database, and you can see mine are right here. And so when I mouse over them, I can see it says email to your seller leads, text to your seller leads, send this email to your buyer leads, send this text message to your buyer leads. And so I'm just going to click on one, and then they all work pretty much the same. You can copy and paste into your CRM. You can send them through Listings to Leads. You can do both. They're fully editable. The ones for the seller, when I click on preview, so this is edit, there's a preview tab. I click on preview. When I click on preview, this link right here is going to link right to your 100-point home marketing plan that's branded to you, that's ready to go. And so they can click through here. And the idea is we want to get this in front of many people as possible. All right. The agents that get these in front of seller leads, in front of homeowners, in front of expireds, FSBOs, canceled, even developers. We got people that do this with developers, builders for new construction in their area. All right. They get more listings because this presentation, whether you're live in a listing presentation or you send it via text, you send it via email, this will get more people engaging with you because it answers the most important questions a seller has. What are you going to do to market my home? Why are you worth all the money? And how are you different from other agents in my area? All right. No one else, unless they are a Listings to Leads client, is sharing a 27-page marketing plan for their home. And you can even create these specifically for where it features that homeowner's home, their name, their address on the cover, their home all the way throughout. So this right here is literally one of the top ways to get listings in the entire industry. And you can create these specifically for seller leads in your database, for FSBOs, for canceled, for expireds. You can use them for probate. Again, you can use them for builders and developers to get more new construction listings, working with those kind of people. So these right here, they're available for print. They're available for the links to send via text and email. And so if you want to send this to your CRM, all you got to do is just copy it. Just copy it, drop it into your editor in your CRM, send it out. The link will work. Always send a test email first just to make sure it works, but it should work just absolutely perfectly. And you can get these out in just a few seconds. All right, literally a few seconds. So again, let me click on that link and it's going to open right to where you need to be at. Again, you're going to see them along the top. But for me, I guess I was a bad boy earlier today and they didn't do like what it will do for you. The ones for the buyers, the text message and the email are going to link to the price reduced landing page, yours in your Listings to Leads account automatically. So here is the edit. Here's the preview. And again, to send this through now you're not going to send the text via email. So to send this through your CRM, right? Because a lot of CRMs have the ability to send a text message. Just click preview, copy this, put it in your CRM to send us a text message. Follow Up Boss, Go High Level, Lofty, Bold, right? I think all of them have the ability to send a text message. So get this out the door, right? That's for your seller leads. And then we got the ones for your buyer leads as well. All right. If there's any questions, let me know, of course. And I am going to click, oh my gosh, that might be why. I'm in my broker account. Give me 1 second. Let me log in on my other monitor. I was kind of wondering why that looked a little bit funny. I was logged into my broker account, not my agent account. So let me log back into my agent account on my other monitor. I'll bring it over. And actually, I wonder now if I click on this here, maybe that's why. Oh yeah, there we go. So mine was. So yeah, there we go. Right? Isn't that awesome? So, yep, they're right there. So perfect. All right. That's awesome. All right. So it's not that I'm a bad boy. It's just I was logged into the wrong account. I'm just not so smart sometimes. So we're talking about listings. So you're going to watch the interview with Fabrice. You're going to see the PDF that I did. And I got that post in the mastermind group. So when we think about listings, again, I want you to be thinking about listings that, and this is what Fabrice said in the interview, right? Listings that are going to be interesting to his audience. So are they listings with views? It could be a listing with a great kitchen. The most expensive listing might be fun to send once, every couple of weeks. The best deal could be a listing that you send. It could be a listing with great curb appeal. All right. So we're not just talking about sending one listing a week. We're going to do 3 of these a week. And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to do. Fabrice talks about what he does when he doesn't have a listing, because from what he said, I didn't ask him specifically, but it seems like 1 to 2 of them a week are not even his listings. It could be all 3 are not his listings. You could literally do this with 0 listings and do this for a month or 2. And if you do our expired training, you do some open houses, you're going to get more listings, right? But again, always think strategically, is this a listing that has a larger buyer pool in our area? All right. Like the other client there, it's a great listing, but between that building and the general buyer pool, it's a lot smaller than had she done a single family home or maybe a more aggressively priced condo, if that makes sense. Now, that was her listing that she was doing. So, at some point, you just got to do the best you can. But for most of you, you're going to be borrowing listings to market using this strategy. And if you're not comfortable how to borrow a listing, either ask your broker. Your broker will be happy to help you out, I'm sure, or get into the mastermind group. Now, your listings should be coming in from a data feed. So they should be coming in automatically. If they're not, ask our support team for more help on that. The other alternative, there's a few others. You can click zip code and MLS ID. So I'll just pretend to do a zip code. I'll pretend to do MLS ID. If I'm borrowing the listing, I'm going to uncheck that. If it's my listing, I'll leave it checked. Click grab. If it's available, it'll let you know and it'll start importing it. If it's not available, you can request our support team to add it for you. So just click add my listing, fill in a little bit of information. They will add it for you. But I've already got my listing in here, and you can do it manually. For example, coming soon, maybe you got an old pending or sold that you didn't add to your account. You can do it manually as well. So I'm going to scroll down. I've got a active listing, and I'm going to click the green market listing button. And so as we go through this, all I'm gonna do is work my way down the left-hand side. We're gonna hit social media. We're gonna hit our database, exactly the way Fabrice was doing. I'm gonna talk about what to do in your farm, the way a few of those other comments talked about, and the way Fabrice does it to also get listings. All right, when it's his listing, Fabrice will use the nearby homeowner letter and circle prospect to the neighbors around. And then I'm going to talk about when it's a open house that you're borrowing. All right. So when we don't have a listing, or we don't have a listing to do an open house at, or maybe we've got a listing, but it's really far out, or it's in just in an area that's not easy to get to. And we want to borrow a listing to hold open to get more listings, to get more buyers. All right. We can use the nearby homeowner letter. So it's a phenomenal way to get more listings. So all of that stuff can be done in Listings to Leads super, super easily. When we're in the overview, we got a step-by-step guide right here. If you click Learn More, everything but one item is on that checklist that we're going to just work our way down. And everything is in order. So you see here Facebook and Instagram ads. And I talked to this right here is not support. This is just as if you and I were sitting next to each other and I was walking you through what to do. So I talk about automating your follow-up. Listings to Leads will integrate with pretty much every CRM out there. So you can click your profile and then CRM integration, connect your CRM if you've got one that you want leads to go into. We got phone scripts. Those will be included in every lead notification. So you don't have to try to memorize this from here. When you get a lead notification from us, there will be a phone script in there. We talk about social media posting. Now this right here, Instagram, Facebook stories, TikTok, YouTube shorts. This is the only item that's not on that list. I'm going to come back to this towards the end of the webinar, but we got examples on Instagram right here. So you can click there. And I want you to notice how we got links in our story. Absolutely phenomenal way to generate free leads and grow our audience. Does a sold listing need to be pretty recent? Amy, that's up to you, really. We also have a status called sold. So there's just sold listing agent, just sold selling agent, and there's also sold. So you can leverage whichever one of those you want. And see, again, for any of you, if you just heard what I said, just sold selling agent, that's when you represent the buyer. You can add that as well. So that would be a phenomenal status to market. So you got just sold selling agent where you're represented the buyer, just sold listing agent where you represented the seller. Then you just got regular sold. So for example, Amy, if it was something maybe, 4 or 5 months ago, and you're just not comfortable calling it just sold for obvious reasons, you could use that status sold. So, but it's going to be up to you at the end of the day. All right. Here's another, and again, this could be just listed. This could be active, open house, coming soon. And then check this out. Get the guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. And people click it and they go to the landing page where they can download the guide. And I got a poll and there's a video right on that page. You can do video clips, of course, see the full video, photos, details, and more. And so all of you that want free ways of generating leads, great social media posts for Instagram stories and TikTok, this is a phenomenal strategy. All right, here's another one. Let's a little video clip walking through the home, 10 seconds. I'm not putting the whole video. And then it says free ultimate guide to buying a home. And then it links to, again, a landing page. And let's see the last one right here. Open house Saturday and Sunday, waterfront luxury, get open house details, right? So back on that post, right, here's a little link for, it's like a 5-minute video. And I just walk you through how to use either images or video clips, how to do Instagram stories. The beautiful thing about Instagram stories go over to Facebook. And so as the people that are connected to you or in your audience or that, you're friends with, whatever, as they are going through Facebook, they're going to see those posts. And again, if you think about the Fabrice model, where he's doing 3 different listings a week, not just random bizarre listings, but strategically chosen listings, his and borrowed. People are constantly seeing him with listings, all right, that they can click on. They go to the property website, they can engage with him, and it comes up on not just Instagram stories, but also Facebook stories, right? And it's beautiful because it's just plastered at the top of their Facebook newsfeed. Absolutely beautiful. And there's a little video here on TikTok as well. So we're going to get at it because I want to get into it. But as you go down this post right here, nearby homeowner letter, we've got circle prospecting scripts, e-flyers to send to your database that Fabrice does, the database call script. Again, Fabrice will do that. He uses our short form video scripts. Again, more great content for Instagram, for TikTok, for YouTube Shorts. All right, we want to make sure we want to do all of this stuff. All right, we want to do all of it. All right, and again, under the overview, you'll see that right there. There's also a checklist, and then you all are on the live webinar, so you can not worry about that one too much. But let's get into a Facebook and Instagram ad. And these are phenomenal because not only do you get name, email, and phone number, but you're going to get the answers to 3 other questions that the leads have to answer. What's your time frame to buy? Do you have a home to sell? What would be most helpful right now? Now you can select from 20 different questions, but it's going to autofill location by default. It's going to do a 15-mile radius by default. I would not change that 99% of the time. We got a lifetime budget of $35. Now, if you're doing 3 ads a week, $35, $45 is absolutely fine. If you're only doing 1 listing a week, you want to do $10 a day minimum. Okay, $10 a day minimum. It'll run for 1 week by default. I can change the template, so I can customize this template. Remember we talked earlier about video and how video can be problematic because if you're using a video, what are they going to do? They're going to sit there and watch that video and most likely not click. And so you're going to lose a lot of lead opportunity. Use the video as just a post, right? As a free post, but not a paid ad. For the paid ad, this template right here is the best one by far. If you get a different template showing here when you get here, all you got to do is click change template. And if you're on the new system, you'll see all the templates available. If you're on the current legacy system, you're going to see them right below. And so I can just select a different template. So we got sideways, we got vertical, we got like 20 other templates that you can select from. You can also use a custom image altogether. So if you've got a custom image, maybe from Canva or somewhere, you can upload that right here, change image or video. But all I did was, and you can even customize the text if you want. Again, on the ad that was not doing well, where she was using the video, she had probably 500 words, minimum of 200. Again, similar to the video being so long that people are just going to watch the video and then keep going. If your description tells everything about the property, why are they going to click? All right. The click, we want to give them just enough information to get them interested in it. Not because what happens when people watch a video of your property or they're reading this, and the entire, bio on that home, what happens is there's going to be 1 or 2 things in there that they don't really like. And so they don't click. They do, I don't like that whatever. Did they see the property? Did they actually, go and look at it and see exactly where it sits on the land, where it sits in the neighborhood, no, they didn't. All right. And until they do, right, it can be real. Or did they see all the information about the property? No, they didn't. They only saw, a video and they read your information right here. So don't give everything away, because then people don't click on the ad. So, I mean, you can edit it a little bit, but I would leave this text alone for the most part. And then all you got to do is click create ad. That's it. For every lead, we're going to get name, email, phone number, time frame to buy. Do you have a home to sell? And what would be most helpful right now? Again, everything here is completely editable. We're going to take a look at an ad. So that's going to submit it to Meta. And so there we go. It's going to cycle through. I'll come back to this in a second. But let me show you. Oh, here we go. So this is an ad I did previously. All right. And I'll show you how to get to there in a little bit. But if I click the blue show ad button, and we are going to see, if I scroll down, so here's the ad. All right, a little bit of text. We got the images. Click. What's your time frame to buy? 3 to 6 months. Do you have a home to sell? Yes. What would be most helpful right now? This is the one that you really want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to all of it. But here the choices are homes in my price range, estimated monthly payments for this home, first-time home buyer, down payment assistance, help, best areas or neighborhoods, new listings and price drops. Most of this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. This one right here. So when we get these leads, pay attention to what they are replying to. When you get notified from us, when it goes to your CRM, you're going to see the name, you're going to see the email, you're going to see the phone number, you're going to see time frame to buy, do you have a home to sell, and what would be most helpful right now. Now, there are 20 different questions to select from. I'm going to show you how to do it. But for example, if they say best areas or neighborhoods, that does not mean most expensive. What that means is best areas or neighborhoods for them. So when you're following up with these people, I would make sure to mention something along the lines of, hey, thank you for clicking on the ad for our home at 123 Main Street in Folsom. And would love to find out if you'd like to get more information. But I also saw that you're looking to buy a home in the next 3 to 6 months, that you have a home to sell, and that you would like to get more information on the best areas or neighborhoods. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on in your life as far as, maybe you have young kids. Do you have a new job that you want to be near? Do you work from home and you want a home office? Do you like to garden and you want to have a garden? You know what I mean? So best area or neighborhood does not mean the most expensive. It means what is the best for them at this stage or what's going on in their life. So that's best area neighborhood. That's not just the most expensive. That's not just where the luxury home's at. That means you need to find out a little bit about what's going on for them. And that is awesome because they're going to feel better that you are not just trying to unload a list of homes for sale on them, but that you are actually trying to get them a list specific for them and what's going on in their life. And so we're going to want to refer to all of these responses that they give us. And then they're going to click new. Their name, email, and phone number are going to populate right there. That'll be right, typically 85% of the time. They go to continue, submit, and then it's going to go right to the single property website. So they're going to land on your property website. You can include video, 3D tours, professional photos. I had a client the other day. She did like a digital brochure, a 360 tour. All right, here's my 3D tour. We got professional photos. My 100-point home marketing plan is right there. They can download PDF guides. So we are not only generating leads at the lead form in Facebook. No, please tell me I didn't do that. Wait, all right. So not only are we generating leads on Facebook, but when they get to our single property website from the Facebook ad automatically, we're going to generate leads there as well. All right. So again, I think the most important thing for the Facebook ad is those questions. And we want to make sure that when we follow up with these people, that we are making sure that we know what they said. All right. Again, the lead notification email, your CRM, all that information will be there. And that's going to help you engage and convert these people a lot better. All right, so let me bring that back over. I'll try not to close it again. And so once the ad is submitted, like you see here to Facebook, if you do not have an AI text follow-up system, maybe from your CRM or somewhere else, I highly recommend signing up for ours. You can have this active and ready to go in about 30 to 45 seconds. Just click subscribe, select up to 50 leads to start with, hit next. You're going to select the name for your AI text assistant. You're going to select name, email, buyer leads, seller leads, or both. I think you may have to enter a credit card or you may not. I can't remember on that one. And then let the AI text work for you. Now, you're still going to want to make sure that you follow up with all of your leads. So do not just, allow the AI to just, be the only thing that's happening for follow-up. You still want to call them up. So you want to make sure that you time block every day. Make sure that we are following up with our leads, right? So I would do email follow-up, text follow-up, call follow-up, and let the AI text be your backstop so that when you're busy, life happens and you're not able to follow up exactly the way you should, that you got the AI text in the background, right? And it will work. It is pretty good. It works really well to help engage and convert these leads. We see about a 10 to 12% qualified lead to where the AI text will set it up to where they are expecting to hear from you. So pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to turn that off. We got social media post. And I don't like carousel. I'm going to turn that off. And so this can auto post, or you can just click post now or schedule the post. Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, Google My Business. You want to do all of it. I like the social media image where it's sideways, right? For the ad, I like vertical. For this one, I like sideways. It's up to you. You can even just do a single image, but I go to the sideways one. And just like the ad, they're going to go right to the single property website. Again, everything is editable. I can click in here and edit the text. I can add a different image altogether. And then when people click it from Google or Instagram, it'll be link in bio, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. We got LinkedIn, we've got X, we've got Facebook. And for all of them, they just click the post, they go right to the property website. So you can see here, and again, I can click post now, schedule, connect more accounts, and we got edit the image. I can have it where they go to the landing page. And so here, I'll show you the landing page. Some people like the landing page. If I use this drop down to go to single property website, they'll go to the property website like we saw before. Now, if they go to the landing page and they fill out the landing page, automatically they land here. So you don't have to do anything. And if you don't ever touch this, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. All right, so get that posted. So Fabrice and the people, when Ben talked about being consistent, you want to do the ad, you want to do the post. One thing that Fabrice talked about that I thought was really interesting if it's your listing, for the tools for the seller. Okay, every Monday he does a seller a call with all of his sellers, one at a time, not all together. So he schedules Mondays. Those are the days that he does the call with the seller. And before the call, he actually sends this to them. So every Monday, he will send them this post, and it's geared towards the seller for them to put up on their Facebook page. And he also sends them an e-flyer to send via email. And the e-flyer is gorgeous. Look at that. I'm going to show you, you always want to make sure to click edit in photos and make the first 4 to 5 photos the best 4 to 5. It makes everything look so beautiful. We don't want the first 3 to 4 images being the front of the house in your marketing. All right. Even on the MLS, I would change that, right? So even you're putting listings into the MLS, I would do front of the house number 1, kitchen number 2, Primary living area, number 3. If the primary bedroom is worthwhile, number 4, or maybe the backyard, and then vice versa. So those first 4 to 5 photos show a quick little tour of the property. Your ads are going to look better. The posts are going to look better. The e-flyer, like we're seeing here, are going to do better. Everything just looks great. And it's good for the buyer leads as well, because now they can get a quick little overview of the entire property without getting too much information. But it's awful when I see a property with a great backyard, but I got to click 40 times to see it, because you got 35 photos, front of the house, the kitchen, the living room, the primary bedroom, the secondary, the third bedroom, the closets, the primary bath, the secondary bath, the half bath, the kitchen, and then it's the backyard, right? So why not just take the best 4 to 5 photos showing me the property, and not being, I don't want to say lazy, but not being suboptimal, right? By just leaving it as most agents do. But let's rearrange those photos, right? So that the best 4 to 5 are the first 4 to 5. And I'll show you that in Listings to Leads in a little bit. So again, Fabrice is doing this every Monday. What you do, click send a seller. If you've not done this before, it will say add seller info. Put in their email, right? There's email addresses right there. Put in the salutation and click send. And do the same thing for the e-flyer for Seller Sphere of Influence. Just click send to seller and click send. You will be CC'd. The seller will get it at the same time. What you need to do is call the seller up. Now, Fabrice is doing this ahead of his meeting with them. If you're borrowing this listing, you won't be able to do this, because you're not, you can't send it to the seller. In fact, these will not even be available on a borrowed listing, right? Makes sense. But when you're the listing agent, then you call the seller up and you're going to say something like this. All right. Hey, John, Scott here. Want to let you know we're doing a lot of great marketing for your property. And I sent you a couple of things via email. One of them was for you to just copy and paste and put that up on Facebook. The other is to share via email to everybody, because in this changing market, we want to make sure that we don't leave any stones unturned. And you likely know people who know people that would love to see a home in the area, right? Or buy a home in the area. When you send it, call them and have that quick conversation with them, or just leave a voicemail. They love it, right? The feedback on these tools is they love it. And what's awesome is when you use the 100-point home marketing plan, that's in there. So that is actually in there. I'm not sure what page, but it's actually in here. And again, sellers love it. Yeah, for example, email sphere of influence is right there. So don't feel weird, right? Don't forget to do this. Again, Fabrice is doing this every single Monday, which I love. I think that is so smart. When he told me that, I was thinking, man, I can't believe I never thought of that. I hate it when I skip or miss on such a great idea. Now, the next thing, the nearby homeowner letter, fully editable. I'm just going to click download PDF. We do have postcards, we have door hangers, and then we got letters. These are for the neighbors. And what do we know? When you have a home for sale, and especially after you sell it, other people start thinking, oh, well, that home sold. We should start thinking about selling our home. That's why I'm a big fan. And Fabrice does this too. And a lot of people do it at just sold, but you want to do it once before it's just sold. If you're having an open house, now for open house, you can do it even for borrowed, right? As an invitation to get them there. So your listing, borrowed listing, where you're holding an open, 100% you want to make sure that you do this. But if you got it just listed, if it's active, maybe even coming soon, you want to use this letter, because I want to make sure the neighbors know me. Right? I want to make sure that those neighbors know me. And I'm going to get it to them a second time after the property is sold. And so they're going to see this letter once as just listed or open house, and then they're going to see it again at just sold, right? Marketing is not just showing up once in a blue moon. We want to show up multiple times. And so the letter here, we just want to let them know, for in this case, 4704 Gold Lane is for sale. You can get all the information, price, photos, and more by going to this link here, or they could send a text message, or they can scan the QR code. And then we let them know when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. And we are offering them a free home value here as well. But the beautiful thing is when they send a text, scan the QR code or go to the link and they're at the property website, we've got the home value embed right in the single property website by default. So as they're looking at the property, right, here we go. Get your updated home value now for free. So here's the home value embed, completely, again, customizable. And they can add their address, click, and get a home value update on their property. So this letter, door knock it, mail it, all right, but get it to the homeowners. I would do like 200 once while it's for sale, right? Coming soon, just listed, active, or open house. Once during one of those stages, and then I would do it once again when it is just sold. If you want to edit it a little bit, don't edit it too much. You can click edit, but the more you edit this, the more it detracts. I've seen people edit that letter to like crazy. And you can click the print and mail button, send it through Listings Leads, or you can download it, send it through Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, Zaire Mail. All right, there's a lot of different services that you can use. For the letter, you can just print and address the envelopes with like a handwritten font, either via printer or manually, and you can mail it out yourself. So you got a lot of options for that. But we want to get that out the door. We've also got postcards and door hangers. We have all different sizes, and I'm telling you, these are phenomenal as well. The postcards and the door hangers work very similar to the letter. So in this case, I got my headline, new construction. Then it says visit. All right. Normally it'll say just listed, for sale, open house, coming soon. I changed that custom I just said new construction. And then there's the domain. All right. Sellers love that. That domain actually helps. All right. That domain actually helps you get more listings. The way we do the domains is it's always going to be the street address, like 4704 Gold Lane, if Lane was in there, 2304 Maple Drive. All right. So always be the street address .thebestlisting.com. Now we got like 6 or 7 different domains. So it could say world's best listing, beautiful home for sale, America's best listing in America, is home now. You can customize these domains, select different ones if you want. And then we got, check this out, text. So they can send a text. And then we got the QR code in the bottom right or bottom left. So these postcards are phenomenal. Check out the back of the postcard right here. Here's the back of the postcard. When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. And then it says, I'd like to invite you to find out your new home value for free at. It's got the domain right there, or they can send a text. And it will walk them through a conversation. It'll send you all the information. What you're going to do is when they send a text, you got the phone number immediately. It's going to ask them for the property address that they want the home value for. So most of the time they put that right in. And then it will say, how do they want to get it, via email or snail mail? Most people just put in their email address. So now you got phone number, property address, email, and you'll get their name as well in that conversation. It's all automated. It's phenomenal. And it's great. Now we don't send the home value to them automatically. You'll just take that information and add it to the home value landing page in your Listings Leads account. It'll send it to them automatically. It'll drop it into your CRM. It'll drop it into Listings to Leads. Because not only do we have AI text follow-up, we've got email follow-up as well. Right? Follow-ups right here. You can open that up and you can turn on email follow-up campaigns for buyer leads and for seller leads. You can edit them, duplicate them, add new ones. All right. So the email follow-ups from Listings to Leads are super powerful. And unlike your CRM, ours land in the inbox a lot more often. Now, next up is circle prospecting. So you want to make sure, I'm just telling you, Fabrice does this. Leo, one of our clients, he gets a listing a week. He uses Listings to Leads. He uses the 100-point home marketing plan for expireds and for his seller leads. He's averaging over a listing a week. And so you want to make sure that you're circle prospecting. Leo makes 40 calls a day. Fabrice is doing like 20 to 30 a day, I think. So, this is an investment in your business. I would get an account with a service like MyPlusLeads, Mojo, RedX. These are really, with Listings to Leads, your CRM, and then a service like MyPlusLeads or RedX. Those are the only 3 programs that you need to start getting a listing a week. You literally don't need anything else. Listings to Leads, you can even use us as a CRM if you had to, but if you got a CRM, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, what have you, phenomenal. So make sure you connect it to your CRM. But with Listings to Leads, your CRM, and a service like MyPlusLeads or RedX, those are literally the only 3 things that you need to start getting a listing a week. You can overcomplicate it with 20 different programs if you want to, but with those 3 programs, you're going to be dialed in. Because then, for example, when I mail the Nearby Homeowner letter postcard, I can pull a list from a service like one of those I mentioned. I can run it and say, just give me homes around this property. Make sure everything is do not call. I don't want anything on the do not call. I want likely to move. And then I'm going to mail the letter or the postcard to that list. And then I'm going to call that list, right? Top agents that are averaging more than a listing a week are doing exactly this. And if you got an open house that you're borrowing, you're going to want to do this. So if you are still not getting a listing a week, I would get into our expired training. Phenomenal. Fabrice, he didn't get 11. He got 16 listings. 11 were normal listings, but 5 of them were expireds in 2 weeks. Five expires in 2 weeks. And he got 3 more the following week. So he's absolutely crushing it. And he's circle prospects. So we got a great script for you. We're just letting them know about the fact that we're having an open house, that a property just listed or the property is for sale. I sent you a postcard. I sent you a letter with more information. I just want to make sure that you got that. And want to see if you'd get any more information about it. Because a lot of times people might ask you, how much is it listed for? How long is it going to take you to sell it? All right. What's the market like right now? Because I'm not calling them to bother them about just random stuff. I'm calling them to let them know about a property near them that is for sale. Now, I know we're going to come up here on the hour. I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. But the yard sign, remember we talked about the yard sign in a couple of those comments in the Facebook Mastermind group. I'm going to show you how to dial in your yard sign to where it's getting leads. All right, where it actually gets sellers for you, it gets buyers for you. So hang out for that. Next up is the database. So we got the eFlyer. Fabrice is sending this 3 times a week for 3 different listings. All right, every single week. Every week. So that's 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, that's 12 listings a month. And then the next month is another 12 and another 12 and another 12. Why? Because like the baker, like the car dealer, like the jeweler, for a real estate agent, listings are your inventory. And so that's why he makes sure that he strategically is picking listings to showcase, not garbage listings. The only time I might do a garbage, quote unquote, garbage listing is if it was, maybe the deal of the week where It's a DIY kind of a home where we want to make sure that we're showing people a home with a great price point, right? Where they can get in, maybe they got to do a little bit of elbow grease. But these e-flyers, oh my gosh, click. They go to the property website. Down here, it lets them know that when this home is sold, it will affect their home value, and they get their home value. And when they click here, they go and see your client reviews from listings to leads. Right? Isn't that awesome? And not only do they see your client reviews, but they can get your 100-point home marketing plan right here. They can see more cool things, download guides for buyers or sellers. So you want to make sure to get this to all of your leads. Follow Up Boss, Lofty, Bold. All you got to do, you can send it through listings to leads, but if you want to send it through one of those CRMs, just copy and paste it and send it. Again, always send a test email first, but Fabrice is doing this 3 times a week. He just copies the email, boom, copy, opens up his CRM. He's using Go High Level, and then he just drops it into Go High Level, sends it out. And then he's calling. Not only is he doing circle prospecting like other top agents that are doing a listing a week, they're calling through their database. And we got everything for you. All you got to do is go down this list. All right, just go down the list. And if you got leads in your database, calling with this script right here is amazing. When I go through my database, what I might do is look at all the homeowners that are around that area. Maybe homeowners that are thinking about selling at some point soon. Some of my buyer leads maybe that I've not connected with yet. And because I just sent them the email, the script now becomes a, did you get, just calling to see if you want more information. Now, and then the endings, notice the endings on here. So I send out the e-fly for the database, and then just call 5, 10, 15 people. Do that a couple times a week, right? Hey, John, Scott Pierce here, XYZ Realty in Granite Bay. And I just sent an email with information about a brand new listing in the area. And I just wanted to make sure you got that. With the way the market is right now, right? You may have questions about buying or selling real estate. And then right here, check this out. Do they own a home near that property? That'd be more of a circle prospecting, but that may happen. If they own a home not near the property, or if they're a buyer lead. So we got you covered for everybody in your database. And I like the one, maybe they own a home, but it's not near the property. So I might end it with, I don't know if you're interested, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. I know you're not looking to sell right now, but I would love to do one of these for you so that I can share with you what's going on with your property. It's great for me because it helps me keep tabs on what's going on in the area. So if you're interested, I'd be happy to send it to you. Would Scott@listingstoleads.com be the best email to send that to? So I would just actually edit this one a little bit to just confirm it. So it do come an assumptive close. Even if I'm leaving a voicemail, right? I would just do a shorter version of the script where I end it with saying, yeah, I will send you an updated home value estimate for your home, right? And I'm going to send that to Scott@listingstoleads.com. Feel free to text or email me back if you prefer a different email address. Phenomenal. Short form video script. You want to make sure that you're doing this as well. Again, this is one of the things that Fabrice is doing. A lot of our clients, they take our script, they click send, they send it to their phone, they just copy and paste it into a teleprompter app, and it gives them another great social media post, right? So we talked about, I showed you the ones with all the links and polls in them, right? I got a calendar 5 days a week. Those are absolutely free. We talked about the social media posts in listings to leads, free, automatically linking to the property website. Now we got a short form video script where you're going to record it and then you're going to post it. And that way people see you. So we want to do a combination of different things. And so just copy and paste this into a teleprompter app. There's links to teleprompter apps right here in the green. If you don't know how to use a teleprompter app, there's a short little video right here that will walk you through. So you can see how to use a teleprompter app and record. All right. And real quickly, every listing automatically gets a property website. Sometimes people don't realize that, but yeah, every listing automatically gets a single property website. Full screen, standard. So I got mine set to full screen. We have open house sign-in forms, but the last thing I want to leave on today, I'll finish this up in 3 minutes, is your yard sign. You saw in the mastermind group, people get listings from this. Why is this so phenomenal? Because nobody is going to call that 10-digit number on your yard sign. They just don't. If you do it correctly, then you can actually get really good leads from this right here. And I'm going to show you something. Let me bring this up again. And I think I've got, maybe not. Let me see, sold. All right. So this says sold. You want to put, and I got a client, she's doing this right now. You want the status writers on the top of the arm. So on the top of the arm, just listed, all right? Coming soon, for sale, open house, pending. Pending is my favorite one. But if your property is for sale, you want to have for sale on the top. If it just listed, put just listed. Because there's 3 things that you want. So you want that. You want the status writer on the top. And you can get those from your association. You can order them online. Below the arm, you want this one right here. These are, you can edit the colors, edit the text color. We've got a bunch of different styles right here that you can select from. My favorite is the second one. All you got to do is click download. And then, right, so we got here it is. And let me just go back one. Sorry about that. Every so often, my screen, when I'm doing a webinar, let me come back to sign writers down here. So if you have a service locally that you can print these up at or something online, phenomenal, just download and get it printed. These extensions stay in your account. So they will be available in your account for as long as you've got your account. So I can take the sign writer and move it from one listing to another. So it's an investment. It's a long-term investment. You can click Dirt Cheap Signs right here. We recommend using Dirt Cheap Signs. And if you want to order from them, there's not an affiliate link or anything. It's just, in case you don't have something better, just click option 1. It doesn't even matter, because what you're going to do is click in here and delete that, and then click upload file. So right there, upload file. I have legal rights. So I'm going to check that, browse for file. And there's my sign writer I just downloaded, right? That's the one that we just downloaded. And next, full color right there, full color, next. And I just hit stretch. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't, I'll just manually come in here and do it. Now, there we go. One thing I do is I will click where it says chat with the live agent, and I go through and I ask, so pay attention to this because it may not be a familiar phrase for you. I get in there and I say, hey, I'm ordering a sign writer. Can I get that full bleed, right? Full bleed. Sounds kind of weird, I understand. But what full bleed does is it will not leave any white space around. So that blue color, that blue will go all the way to the edges. And it just looks a little bit tighter. This is fine as well if you don't want to do that. Either way is fine. And you can select different product size. So if you want different sizes, from here, save and checkout. Yes, I approve. You're going to do a couple of options. I like, double-sided, of course. I've got one that's aluminum. You can for $14. That corrugated cardboard actually is very high quality. It's just not going to last as long. Right? It'll last for a few months, I would imagine, at least. And I've got one of them. They're great, but I've also got the aluminum, which of course is going to last a lot longer. Reflective, none. Grommets. All right, you can add grommets. If you're ordering no, I don't want 5 because it's the same text number. So I just want 1. $24. You do add to cart. Your shipping is going to be about $20. So, I would order 2 to 3 at once. And that way it's going to be about what, $80, $90. But I've got now 3 of them. And again, I'm going to be able to rotate them around. If you've only got no listings or you can normally keep 1 or 2 listings, then just order 2 of them. But that way now you've got them for your listings. They're going to be great for at least a year, if not a couple of years. And they really help with the status on the top, all right, that you want to keep updated because it draws the eye of all those homeowners walking around. I want those homeowners, I want them to get my nearby homeowner letter or postcard or door hanger. I want them to see my yard sign. I want them to see the post from the seller, to see the ads in my own social media posts. So we're trying to make sure that we are getting in front of those homeowners as much as possible. And the last thing here to wrap it up are the listing flyers. Great for your open house, great to put at the property for showings, but it's also great to put on the yard sign. These are absolute gold. They automatically have the text numbers. They got QR codes. So here you can see, got all my listing photos, automatic QR code, URL, and the text code right here, text 1003 to 25678. So as those neighbors are walking by, and it goes from just listed, and then there's an open house. So now they see the open house rider. And then it goes pending, and they see the pending rider. I want to make sure, and you can get a flyer box at your association, get one of those and put it on the yard sign. And you're going to get more listings. You're going to get more buyer leads. And these are usually some of the highest quality listing leads and seller leads and buyer leads that you're going to get because they're right near the property. All right. They saw the yard sign. They either sent a text off the sign writer that we just looked at that will go below the arm but above your main yard sign placard, or they just grab one of these flyers, and these, they're like a Facebook ad. In a Facebook ad, people click, 3 questions, name, email, and phone number, become a lead. These are almost better because they're going to sit on the countertop, right? They're going to sit probably in the home of that homeowner that grabbed it or the buyer that grabbed it. If they don't engage with it right away, they're very likely to engage with it at some point down the road. So it's a great way to get our collateral in front of nearby homeowners, to get it in front of buyers. And if they got the nearby homeowner letter and they grabbed one of these, even better, because now they're going to know we're amazing agents, correct? All right. So anybody have any other questions for me? Right there, we got blog posts, Craigslist, a QR code, YouTube listing videos that we do. You can send the traffic report to the seller, either manually or automate it. All right, settings, download, send. All right. I talked about open houses. So if you want to set an open house, you can do that from the previous page or from here where it says open house under edit, add your open house. You can rearrange the photos under photos. So I can rearrange the photos like this, just drag and drop. I can add videos or 3D tours under that link right there. All right. I can add the seller information if I want to do it under edit. I showed you how to do it earlier, but I can also do it here. So a lot of great things under edit that you can leverage as well. If you want to change the domain, all right, we talk about that a lot with expireds or cancels or FSBOs. Maybe even a listing presentation that gives you a link that you don't like. So you want to come in here and you can always edit that domain before you start marketing it. You can even use your own custom domain. So if you own, folsomhomes.com, you could actually use that. So in Listings to Lead, you can use a custom domain like whatever your IDX website is, which is really cool. All right, everybody, listen, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm going to put in one last thing, and I would love for you to share with us your feedback. So post-webinar satisfaction survey just lets us know how we're doing. I want to make sure that you are getting the best value possible from the webinars that we do. Otherwise, why are we doing them? So if you would not mind clicking on that link I just dropped in, and it should take you 30 to 60 seconds to complete. It would mean a lot to me. And if you got any other questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, I will let you go and start generating great leads. It's not that hard. Get these leads to your CRM, stay consistent, right? Get into our school classroom, start doing our expired, right? Open houses, pending sold are great ones, right? Again, because what is a great way to get listings? Well, one great way to get listings is marketing listings, like we talked about. It's showing our 100-point home marketing plan printed or the link, but it's also showing that we are getting homes into contract or getting homes sold. So these are some great courses inside of our school community that you got access to. And they just step-by-step details. You're going to absolutely be golden. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.